Good afternoon, everyone. So, first real history assignment. We are working on the origins of civilization. So, we're going to do kind of a hybrid video. We're going to talk about not just the topic, but making sure that you guys understand how to complete your assignments in Savas for history. So we'll be going through a bit of both right now. So I'm going to go ahead and do a screen share. And I'm going to log in as a student. So I actually have to switch this. All right, and as you can see, I kind of see what you see. All right, so first things first, we're going to, the plagiarism video is pretty straightforward. You watch the video and then on Teams, you answer that question in 2 to 3 sentences of how you can avoid plagiarism and basically what is plagiarism. And we'll kind of work with that a little bit more in the coming weeks. So we're going to go to Introductions, Origins of Civilization. Now, the nice part is you have your instructions, date today that it was assigned, when it's due. Now, you can turn in chunks or all at the same time. You'll have a video on Çatalhöyük, which is one of the most ancient cities that they've currently uncovered. So you'll get to watch that, and that's pretty straightforward. Now, the other one is the interactive map. There's not actually anything to turn in here. You're just working through the interactive map, and it's quite interesting. So you'll get to click on all of these, the red dots, and they will go through what was found in that area. Now, the nice part about this book
Topic overview: Origins of Civilization, Prehistory to 4000 BCE. Where did the first human ancestors live? Scientists believe that the first human ancestors, or hominins, lived in Africa. Locate Hadar, where bones of a hominin named Lucy were found in 1974. Who will you meet?
So you can actually go through and the textbook will read itself to you in many parts in chunks. And then you can go through and click on the different, these are not ones you can click on, but you can sit there and look at it. So again, here's where the fossilized child comes from. And you'll be able to work through and get some cool information there. Now you can mark it as complete as a student by clicking here. Now the video is self-explanatory. When you click on that, it automatically says, okay, they've watched it. So it's pretty simple. And this is actually a really cool video on how archaeology is done.
About the past is thinking about the human experience in the past. I think one of the most powerful things about archaeology is that it gives us insight into ways of life.
Okay, let's pass on to the third part. Now this is an interactive timeline. What it's going to do is show you the timeline. You'll be able to get more information. Now, what I'm asking you to do is basic stone tools, as you read, identify at least 3 events from the topic that you think are important and tell me why. So you're going to go in the notebook part, you click on that and you're able to type. So it's a little more interactive in one part than the assignments we have been working on. And again, this shouldn't be much different than your science notebook. So I think the last ice age begins, and put the date. Please don't start sentences with because. I think this event is important because the warming actually, this would be the last ice age ends. Because the warming allows people to discover how to farm. Now, two more. And as again, you can see it saved. Then you close it. And like you see, it'll save it, timestamp it, and let me look at it for view. And let's say you're like, oh crap, I forgot the other two. You just go back in and keep editing. Now, when you are done, you mark it as complete, and then you can turn everything in by going to this top right that says turn in all. And then, like we said with the video, it doesn't always mark on there that it's complete. It's a video, don't worry about it. You're not gonna. And then as you can see, you completed that assignment and you're good to go. So that is this particular assignment and how you do it. Now, a little more about this time period. Again, this goes back as far as to about 4,000 BCE. So you have the year 0. We're in 2020 after that. So we're going to do a little timeline here. So we're going to do 0 here. Okay. So 4,000, we call it BCE, which is before the Common Era, which starts here. So your Common Era starts here at 0. And now here we are at 2020 CE for Common Era. In older textbooks and such, you might see BC, which is before Christ, and AD, which is Latin for Anno Domini, which stands for the year of our Lord. Okay, because it's on the Christian calendar and they tend to do it that way. And I realized I haven't stopped screen sharing, so sorry, I'd rather not redo this whole video. So as you can see, we drew the timeline. Here is CE, the start of the Common Era. So we call it Common Era. And this is before that Common Era. Okay, so we're talking about the very start of human civilization and going back to when they discover that, okay, Homo sapiens, as far back as we can tell, start here. And we're all going on fossil evidence. So again, you'll see timelines. We are going to use a ton of them. Timelines and maps, and you're going to see lots of pictures of art in history class, tons and tons of timelines. Think of it for my math kids, think of it like your number line. These would be your negative numbers, these are your positive numbers. It's actually not that different. But it's just a good way of figuring out, we use timelines in history because we want to figure out sequence of events. So what happened first, second, third, etc. So timelines in history, super duper important. So we're going to start from the very beginning with figuring out and just learning how to use your timelines to visualize what's going on. Now, in your assignment, you're going to see things like the beginning of farming, moving out of Africa, moving across North America. So you're going to see these big kind of turning points in history. Some of the big ones that you guys are going to learn about in the next couple weeks are your discovery of farming and pretty much your use of tools, discovery of farming, the beginning of the Bronze Age. And it's just a pretty interesting way to look at, okay, how did we start? You will see things like cave art from, I believe they're doing the caves in Lascaux, France. And it's the first art. You know, when did we get to a point in just the earliest parts of civilization where art becomes important, where you have time enough to stand there and paint, or to put your handprint on a wall by blowing the paint over your hand and then removing it like a stamp. These are things where that kind of stuff starts to be important to people. And it's on a spiritual level and a personal level. And it's just amazing to see. And next week, we're going to go into our working on our projects, and we'll have bits and pieces, and we'll also put in a optional meeting for you guys during the week where I will be available to help with any questions, kinks, you know, stuff running around that just is driving you nuts. I want to do this, but I can't make it work with the technology, that kind of thing. So I will see you guys later. You take care and have a great weekend.